everybody, it's me, Valerie, the Crafty Val Girl. Today we're going to make some scrappy embellishments out of bits of things you would just normally throw away. When you get boxes and you get tabs and things, we don't usually use these bits and pieces. We usually just generally throw them away, or we're going to use them. Okay, so you're going to need some bits and pieces of boxes, bits of cardboard, chipboard, different thicknesses, because we're going to layer them up. We're going to do kind of a textured feel on these embellishments. So you're going to need some napkin remnants, only the top layer, just the single layer. You're going to need some either white paint or gesso. This is gesso here, but you can use white acrylic paint. It will work just fine. You're going to need some glue. You're going to need some Mod Podge. I just have a small bottle here so I can squeeze the small bits out. You need a brush for your Mod Podge. And you're going to need also a dry brush. Yeah. Okay, that's it really. And a little time, because you need to, this process is going to take a little time because it needs to dry in between each step. Okay. All right, so let's get this all out of my way. All right, the first thing you need to do is just pick, 3 or 4 pieces of whatever it is you want here, okay? And then you just glue them together, kind of stack them up and glue them together every which way. And I've already done one so that it doesn't take as long on the video. And this one is mine. Just stack them up on top of each other. Let the little curves and things show if you got curved tabs and all of that. Just stack them up a little bit. And all of these little edges and texture you're going to see later on down the road when we get things going. Okay? Once you get that glued, what you're going to do, and you need to do something to hide all this here so it doesn't come through our napkin. We don't want to see all of these bits and pieces through our napkin. So what you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to, this is where you're going to use your gesso. Just take that old gesso and put it on there, and it doesn't have to be pretty, because the more texture that's going to be on this when we're finished, the more unique it's going to look. Just get it on there and cover up all those bits and pieces. If you don't have gesso, use white paint. White paint will work just fine. Okay. Then you're going to set that aside and let that dry. Once it's dry, you can kind of see kind of the texture there, the different layers. Okay, once you get it dry, now this is the sticky, messy part. Sorry, let me get into frame there for you. We're going to take our piece of napkin. I'm going to get my Mod Podge and my paintbrush here, a little glue brush. I'm just going to dollop a little bit of glue, Mod Podge on there. Spread that all around. I'm pretty liberal with this. I'm going to let it sit and dry a while anyways, or use my heat gun to dry it, so. Okay, we'll put our piece of napkin on top. If you have to use bits and pieces, if you have just small pieces, scraps that you want to use up, then use 2 or 3 pieces, that's fine. Okay. Now what we're going to do with our brush is we're going to put a little more Mod Podge here on top. And then we're going to kind of just stipple this so it kind of gets down into the little corners of the layers that we did. Now you're still not going to be able to see them very good at the end of this process, but just wait, we still have another step to go that's going to kind of bring those little ridges and lines out. Okay, real good there, all the way around the edges. I see I need a little piece over here. I'm just gonna tear some of this off and stick it right up there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of just start folding this under. If I've got a extra large piece of napkin that's left over, I may tear it off. We'll just kind of, there's no right or wrong way to do this. And the back of this piece does not have to be pretty. Okay, a little more. There. I'm going to tuck that edge over there. So there's quite a lot there. I'll probably tear some of that off. Ooh, sticky, sticky. This is the sticky part. The messy part. I don't know, I've been into messy projects lately. Okay, whoops, I kind of tore that with my thumb there. It stuck. That's all right. It's not going to show when we're finished. I guess this is where your fingernails can come in handy and kind of hang on to it with your fingernails. I'm going to kind of tuck this straight edge down. Mod Podge it down. The edges are a little rough. That's okay. Kind of just adds to the texture of it. See, that one's kind of got like just a little fuzzy edge. I'm going to leave it like that because I like it. Okay. Okay, once you kind of get that napkin down there where you want it, everything's all tucked in good and around the edges the way you want it. You're going to let this, set this aside. I don't know if you can see any of the ridges in there or not. See, well, I guess you can right there a little bit. But they're not going to show up too much just yet. Okay. Now we're going to just put this aside and let it dry. Okay, now this one is dried. Okay, and now we're going to take either your gesso or your white paint again. Now, don't make your mistake and use the same brush you gessoed it with to begin with. I did, and it turns everything white. You won't get the pretty effect that you're supposed to get. So move this old one out of the way. Get out a dry brush. Okay. You're going to want to take just a little bit. And we're going to kind of tap it off on our paper, okay? We want this to be dry. We don't want very much on there, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of go very, very lightly over the top. And if you don't feel like you got enough gesso on there or enough paint, you don't want to go heavy on this paint. You'll get too much paint, okay? All we want is we want this to kind of bring out those ridges. See how it's kind of bringing out that edge right there? That's all we want this to do, and to kind of give it a little distressed feel. Okay. Kind of see how it's defined those layers a little bit more now. It really is much better justice when it's in person. It's kind of hard to get the effect of it on camera. But there you go. And then we want just kind of that distressed look all over. Okay. Then you want to just kind of give that a second to dry. It won't take that long because it's just dry brushed. And now you can decorate it. Now I have a, let's see, we'll do breathe maybe. And how about, well, let's turn it this way. I want to go this way. And do maybe, oh, let's do purple flower. I'm going to cover this little flower up here. What I like is it, my little word here is going to be raised up just a little bit off of, well, you can't really tell there. It's going to be lifted up off of the piece a little bit without having to use little foam squares. Okay, there we go. It's a sticky project, but it's a fun one. Give it a try. You can decorate these however you want to. Put some bling on them. Leave them as plain as you want to. You can use them for tuck spots or just embellish a page with them. You can turn them into paper clips, whatever you want to do. Okay? Have fun, you guys. Happy crafting. Bye.